Hey VC, this is Mark. Welcome to Vinyl Crush. I have some records from Record Store Day Black Friday that I want to show you. I've had a chance to listen to them, so I'll talk about some of them. Let's just dive right in. The first record I want to show you actually is Bill Evans' Live at Ronnie Scott's. So this is put out by Resonance Labels. And Resonance is the same label that put out the Bill Evans Some Other Time that came out last Record Store Day. I talked about it on a previous video. This is an outstanding record. The session, the set, the recording, the mastering, everything about this record is stellar. So I talked about this before. Same label, different recording. This is recorded in 1968 at Ronnie Scott's. So Jack DeJohnette, the drummer, and Eddie Gomez, the bass player, but DeJohnette actually recorded some of the sessions that they did there and kept some of the recordings, and that's where they got this. Resonance is more of an archival-oriented record label as opposed to audiophile. So this is not an audiophile recording. This is definitely for the archivist. This is definitely for somebody who wants to hear something that isn't available any other way. I was not impressed with the sound of this recording. It's actually also in mono, which isn't stated anywhere on here, but I was listening to it. It's definitely in mono. It's not quite home recording quality, but it's not an outstanding recording in any sense of the word. Although this trio only played together for about 6 months before Miles Davis stole Jack DeJohnette away. So there aren't that many recordings of them. And if you enjoy listening to three musicians who've been playing together for a little while, giving Bill Evans a chance to really stretch on here. I'm a big fan of Bill Evans. He just sounds wonderful. His playing is melodic and playful and beautiful. I really enjoy what he does, but the recording on here, just mediocre. It came on 2 discs. I'll show you these 2, just black vinyl, very flat, very quiet, nice recording on that level. The packaging was wonderful. I'll show you. I love the illustration for the cover. This is the back of the cover. I'll show you inside of the cover. And it also came with a booklet. Maybe 10 pages or something, I'll show you. And this booklet has some liner notes, some credits. There's also an interview of Jack DeJohnette interviewed by Chick Corea that's also worth reading. So the packaging on here, really nice. I think it's very well done. I wish that the recording sounded as good as the packaging looks. This same label also put out Sonny Rollins for this Black Friday releases. I picked up a copy of that too. It was a triple album. And when I got it home, I had disc 1 and 2 of disc 3. There was no disc 2. And apparently that was a regular problem. There was some problem in manufacturing or distribution where this is happening to a number of people, sadly. But I did get to bring it home and listen to it, the first and third disc. And it also was pretty low quality in terms of the recording itself. So I just decided to return it and not try to exchange it. So I don't have that to talk about. But I'll just say the recording quality on both of these albums is just mediocre. If you really want to listen to Sonny Rollins playing something that isn't recorded anywhere else, then that's an option. So moving on though, Luther Dickinson and the Cooperators. This is an album that I really didn't know what to expect and was incredibly, delightfully surprised by it. Luther Dickinson and his brother started the North Mississippi All-Stars back in, I believe, the 90s. He's played with a number of other bands, including an iteration of the Black Crowes in the mid-2000s, I think. He's a fingerstyle blues and acoustic guitar player. This is recorded live in 2016 in Athens, Georgia. And it's in a very, very small venue that doesn't even exist anymore. It probably holds like 100 and some people. So it's a very intimate setting. This is an eclectic set of acoustic and electric blues and folk and American music. I'm just so happy with this. It's just really wonderful. The album is on a really nice blue vinyl, very beautiful. I love the labels. You can see that on there. They're very classy. The rest of the packaging is just okay. It's pretty minimalistic, much like the album, but enjoyable. The album is really, really good. I really like this album. The next album I have for you is called The River Flows. It's John Hurlbut and Jorma Kaukonen. Jorma is famous for the original formation of Jefferson Airplane. He was also formed Hot Tuna. He's really kind of a self-described country blues purist. And this is an all-acoustic album, just the two men. It's really quite beautiful. It's very minimalistic, beautiful. It's honest. It's straightforward. The recording is really nice. There's some singing on here. It's good. I just love this really stripped down, really bare but honest and beautiful music on albums like this. This is also surprisingly on some of the most beautiful vinyl I've seen in a long time. This kind of red transparent splatter with some black. Show you both sides of that. Quite beautiful. The vinyl is flat, quiet, sounds good. The packaging is also nice. I'll show you. This is the inner sleeve, photo of each of the guitar players on there, and it came with a booklet. Has a lot of liner notes and photos, and a new interview of Jorma, which is nice to be able to read. So beautiful packaging, nice pictures. Yeah, it's a great album. I'm really happy that I picked this up. I wasn't sure what I was going to get, and pleasantly surprised. So next this is another album I wasn't sure, Bombino. He's a Nigerian Tuareg guitarist. It's desert blues from Africa. This is his only live album. This is his 7th album. Everything else is studio. So this is him really going off and having fun. It's a double album. He was inspired by the likes of Jimi Hendrix and Dire Straits and Ali Farka Touré. So his music comes off almost psychedelic when you listen to it. It's almost trance-like. It's really, really good. If you like African Desert Blues, this is a really good album. It's really nice to hear him live. It's a double album, black vinyl, flat, clean, sounds clean. The album cover is also in black and white. Photos of the live performance. Yeah, I love this album. It's quite good. If you like, again, I like interesting music, and this is really fun to listen to. So this is an album that I was really looking forward to getting. I was going to be unhappy if I didn't get, because this is my kind of hip hop. This is Grand Poobah. It's called Reel to Reel. This is a limited edition. It came out with 2000, I think. It's a remaster from a 1992 album. He was playing with Brand Nubian. They did an album together, and then Grand Poobah left and did solo. And this is his first solo album. I'll show you. It has kind of a sky blue and sunburst orange vinyl, beautiful double album. Here's the back of the cover. So this is incredible. There's beats are interesting. There's some great samples and loops. Songs on here include Big Kids Don't Play, Honey Don't Front. There's a song on here called Soul Controller that's really kind of a dark song. And then one of my favorites is that reggae-tinged Proper Education, which is a scathing song about prejudice and racism in America. It's very, very beautiful and very relevant today. Great album. I love this. Everything about it is good. I'm really happy to have gotten a copy of this. When I read about this album, this is Little Richard. It's an album that he was going to do. It was going to be his 3rd album. Should have come out in 1972, but it was shelved. This is, although there's lots of funk and soul on this album, it's called Southern Child, I think I mentioned. It's really a country rock album. And this is the original cover he was hoping to have on this. He wrote or co-wrote all of the songs on here. The vinyl is yellow. Very, very nice vinyl, very flat. Here's the the inner liner. And the back of the cover. So this is limited to 1,500. I'm not a huge, I mean, I like Little Richard. I don't own a bunch of his records. This is something that would just look so different and so interesting that I had to check it out. And it's really quite good. And I can understand why it was shelved. It's probably different than everything else Little Richard was doing before this. But it's really fun. I'm enjoying it a lot. So next I have the Jahari Masamba Unit, Pardon My French. So this is an album that surprised me a lot. This is Madlib and Kurium Riggins. And Madlib does all of the instruments on this except percussion, and Kurium does the percussion. This is complex, free-form jazz, kind of playful, spiritual, psych jazz. It's a little bit of everything. Even though the ambiance and the sound is consistent, it's all over the place. It's an outstanding record. I was more than kind of shocked at how much I like this record. It's on Madlib Invasion labels. I love the look of the labels. I think that's really beautiful. I love the colors that they chose for this. Here's the back of the cover. This is a great album. If you're into, it's definitely free form, but it's profoundly good. I really enjoyed this album a lot. I listened to it quite a bit. Next, I'm bringing up Herbie Hancock. This is Herbie Hancock with a trio. This is in 1977, I believe. This album only came out in Japan. It was never released on vinyl anywhere else. And so this is a remaster that's released. It's on, I'll show you the labels, but the cover is exactly a reproduction of what came out in Japan with the obi and everything. And I really, this is Herbie Hancock in his traditional jazz roots. This is straight ahead jazz. I think Herbie Hancock is an amazing keyboardist, but when he does the straight ahead stuff, you can really hear just how good he is. And this is a great album. It's a wonderful recording. It's high quality. It sounds beautiful. I'm really enjoying this album. Like it a lot. So this album was something that surprised me. I wasn't really sure I was going to get it. I did a little research on it. The band is High Pulp. It's called Mutual Attraction. And this is, God, it's beautiful psych jazz with influences of fusion like hip hop and funk. It's a Seattle 8-piece band, classical jazz band, and out of Seattle, Washington. And they just, I don't know, they're just amazing. They covered 3 songs on here, one by Pharoah Sanders, one by Sun Ra, and one by Alice Coltrane. And they're beautiful. It's just great psych jazz. It's out of the box for sure. It's not free form. It's really, really nice to listen to, really pleasurable. The music sounds like the cover looks, I think, which is really delicious and beautiful. The album is on black with black labels. I'll show you the back of this. This one came out with 750 limited edition, and I think you can still get some on Discogs. It's an amazing record. And this is volume 1, so I'm looking forward to volume 2 of this record. Another great surprise to pick this up. One of the other albums I was hoping to get was the Rolling Stone album. There was only 900 put out. Most record stores were lucky if they got one. I did not get one. I don't even know anybody who did get one, which is kind of sad, but I guess it was $100 and it wasn't really much for the money, so it looked like a money grab anyway. The other album that I picked up that I wasn't planning on was the Alanis Morissette. This is a live set. I wasn't really interested in listening to her live until I found out that this is basically an unplugged acoustic set. There's 2 guitar players in her. It's a really intimate sounding recording. This is taken from the Jagged Little Pill Deluxe set that was put out on CD, and this has not been released on vinyl until now. It's a double album live. It's limited to 4,500 copies. Vinyl is black and flat. Labels are pretty simple. The The song You Ought to Know is done here, very slow and acoustic. Thank you, very slow acoustic, beautiful versions of her songs on here. I really was surprised. I wasn't planning on getting this, was happy that I did. One other album I was hoping to get, but wasn't actually found here in Portland at all. Apparently there was a distribution problem and it never made it here. I don't know about other cities, but we didn't get one, was Best Coast. I was hoping to grab a copy of that. And when I was going through the used record bins at one of the record stores on Black Friday, I happened to run across a first pressing of that album for $10. So I guess I got what I wanted anyway. I was kind of surprised, especially for the price, to find a near mint copy, a first pressing of the album, rather than buying the reissue for Record Store Day. So pleasant surprise to end with. Thank you for watching. Looking forward to doing some more videos, and we'll talk soon.